Welcome to Groovy Eggs Farm. I am Jeff. This was yesterday, 2 days ago. It doesn't matter. Before we get to the main introduction of my new flock, newly formed flock in the front yard, I had to let these guys out. So this is the flock we've been looking at. White and True Blue Rooster. I've got 2 White and True Blue hens, an Olive Egger hen, and 3 Black Copper Marans hens. And then I've got some younger White and True Blues and some younger Black Copper Marans. The Black Copper Marans in here will be going to a new Black Copper Marans flock as soon as I get a coop repaired and fence up and all energized and all that good stuff. There are 7 young Black Copper Marans in here that will be moving elsewhere. And this is basically my flock number 1. When I keep track of them on my spreadsheets, this is the first flock. So in the spring, they will be the White and True Blue Rooster, the 3 Black Copper Marans hens. Those will produce Olive Eggers. Not, maybe a handful per week if I'm hatching. And then I'll have maybe a handful of White and True Blue hens in here. And so that might be a dozen that I can hatch each week. But, every egg counts that I can hatch that is desirable for people out there looking for blue egg layers, blue egg laying breeds, and the green eggers. So that's going to be a small flock, 1 rooster, maybe 8, 9 hens. But I have now, this is what you've all been waiting for. I know it. I know you've just been dying to see what's the other flock that's going into the front yard, Jeff. No. So this is a newly formed flock, and they have now taken over the upper echelon, the upper terrace of the front yard, and this is a blue, black, splash, copper Marans flock. Every chicken in here is either blue, black, or splash copper Marans. You saw the big boy there. You'll see him again. He is the main rooster. He is a blue copper Marans. Now these are a little bit different than the black copper Marans that I've been talking about. There's one small genetic change to a black copper Marans that will dilute the black feather color from black to blue. And then if you dilute it again, you will change it from blue to the white splash. They call them splash, but it's a white bird with the black or blue splashes throughout the white, so they're called splash. So they're basically identical, except the 1 or 2 minor changes with the feather color genetics. So these are more of a fun breed. The black copper Marans that I got those from a local breeder, and all they kept were black copper Marans. They didn't have anything to do with blues or splashes. And one of the reasons for that is the American Poultry Association. They recognize the black copper Marans as an official, breed, whereas they don't recognize the blue copper Marans and the splash copper Marans yet. That can always change. So the black, blue, splash copper Marans are more of a fun type flock. You're not going to win any contests with them, maybe at the county level, that don't care about the APA standards. But they do lay some dark brown eggs. We'll get to the eggs later also. But they're pretty birds, and they're big. It's the same Marans variety. There are many different feather color varieties of Marans. The Marans originated in France. I've got the black copper Marans, but there are also black Marans without the copper in them. There are white Marans. There are I don't even know. I'd have to look it up. But there are, I don't know, like a dozen different feather color varieties of the Marans. They did originate in France. You'll sometimes hear them referred to as French black copper Marans or French Marans. And that's where they originated. And the French standards, we have the American Poultry Association. Well, the French have their own association. And the French called for the feathered legs. And we have the same standard here in America. The Marans need to have the feathered legs. The English did not call for the feathered legs. The English had their own standard. They didn't want to. Anyway, so the English standards are clean legs. No feathers on the legs in the English standards. And they're basically the only ones who do the Marans differently. So you see them, they don't need to be referred to as French here in America because we use the French standards. So all the Marans here in the U.S. should have the feathered legs. My flock originally came from Deer Run Farm in Maryland. They're more well known for their Welsh Marans, but they have some nice other breeds, including these blue-black splash copper Marans. My black copper Marans, which are only black, none of the blue or splash mixed in, those came from a local breeder, but these came from Deer Run Farm. I've had them for a couple of years. I've had blue-black splash copper Marans flock in the past, but I've mostly been using them to create the green and the olive eggers. So now that I've got this second flock in the front yard, and my black copper Marans are not going to be a good go for me next year. I decided to put the blue-black splash copper Marans together, and yeah, that's what you see. These are not. They have good body type. These are not show-winning birds. She's nuts. They do get stressed out when you move them around. She might be forgetting.
What's your deal, girl?
Yeah. She wants to go lay an egg. That's probably what she wants. Mine are not perfect specimens. The rooster, he does have a very good body type. Is he in there? Yeah, there's his rear end sticking up at you. And he's just coming out of a molt, so his tail feathers will get longer. He does have a good top body type. He's got some meaty thighs there, you can see. His tail angle is right about where you want it. His feather coloring is probably a little bit off, so that'd be something I can work on. And something I did was I mixed in the black copper Marans I got from a local breeder in with some of these blue-black splashes. And that's not always a good thing. You hear about, bring in outside blood and you can rejuvenate your flock. Sometimes that is the worst. Most of the time, that is probably the worst thing, and I didn't know that. But yeah, bringing in outside blood, it creates an explosion of the genetics, and you get some bad things that happen, like mossiness in the feather colors. So within this flock, I do have some mossiness, and I have a big difference between my blue copper Marans, the shades of blue. Some of them are light blue. I can probably point that out better later. But some of them are more of a light blue, and some of them are more of a dark blue. And the dark blue ones look more charcoal, or a dark gray than they do look blue. And so that's one thing that can happen when you bring in outside blood, is you mess up whatever's been going on that the previous breeder had been working for. So these lay pretty eggs. They will not win any awards because of the feather coloring, but they do have a good body type, and that is a good place for me to start. This is how the breeding works out for the blue-black or black-blue splash inheritance. This is also true in other chicken breeds. I know the Americanas, black-blue splash is a thing, and there are several other chicken breeds where this feather color genetics works out like this. But when you breed black to black, all of the kids will be black. Thus my black copper Marans flock, all of them stay true to the black color. When you breed splash to splash, all of the kids turn out splash. Here's the thing: when you breed blue to blue, only half of the kids turn out blue. 25% of them turn out black. The other 25% turn out splash. So when you breed blue to blue, they don't breed true. They don't automatically give you 100% blue. What does give you 100% blue is when you breed black to splash. So that's interesting. When you breed blue to black, half the kids will be black, half the kids will be blue, and same with blue breeding to splash. Half the kids will be blue, and half the kids will be splash. So you don't know what you're going to get when you hatch that egg, but it's going to be one of those three colors, and they'll probably have very similar body type and other things. So that's the fun fact about the breeding chart for black blue splash in chickens and in these copper Marans, and I think it holds true in other animals, or something similar happens in other animals when you breed the different colors like that. I'm no geneticist, don't ask me, I can just tell you what this says. That's my Mr. Blue. That's what I call him, Mr. Blue. He's had some frostbite to his comb. That was unfortunate a couple of years ago. But he's a good body style. His feather coloring is a little bit off. He's got some leakage on the chest with the feathers. And one thing they say in the breeding world is you build the statue before you paint it, something like that. I don't know, but you build the body get the body type right before you worry about getting the feather colors right. And so that's kind of where I'm starting at the beginning levels here. You can see my blue copper Marans hens are very different. They're down at the bottom there right now. Two of them are much lighter, and two of them are almost a charcoal. You might consider them black, but they are blue. The black one should be pure black. So that's what I've got going on in my flock. And they're still great birds, great body type, great size, docile. They are not aggressive. They're not flighty. They don't like getting out and jumping in the road in front of a semi. They're not going to do that. That was another reason I chose them for the front yard. Good temperament, and that can be different wherever you get them. That I can tell you that about mine. It depends on how they've been raised for the past few generations. With the hatcheries, you're not exactly sure. I would say mine are a little bit better quality than hatchery, but they do lay very nice dark brown eggs, some of them with speckles. I have the one rooster in here. I have 6 blue copper Marans hens and 1 splash copper Marans hen. And then I've got a bunch of little ones in there. I think 6 of those are boys, and there's a splash copper Marans boy that I really like. There's a splash copper Marans girl. Let me look over here for a second, and my numbers, 5, 9, 10, there's 12 youngsters in there, and I think 6 boys and 6 girls. 2 of the girls are the splash. She's the adult, but they will grow up to look like her. The white with the black splashes, there are the 2 girls. And then one of the splash boys, hopefully I zoom in on him in a minute. And there are the eggs, there on the right. Those are from my blue-black splash copper Marans. In the summer, those eggs will be darker. This is towards the end of their laying season. And kind of like ink jets, as you get close to the end of the cartridge, your color goes down a little bit. And that happens with chickens. So those were at the end of, but they're still nice dark eggs. A lot of them have speckles. And for people that just want a backyard flock and aren't caring about taking them to shows and winning county fairs and stuff like that. They just want a unique flock with colorful eggs. These will fit the bill. So I'm glad that I have them in my arsenal. With these 7 hens, I got 5 eggs today from those 7 hens. So yeah, they're not the most productive laying breed. Marans are not the most productive laying breed. The theory is, they're putting all that brown on the egg, so it takes it longer to go through their system. There's a little splash copper Marans cockerel, a young boy. He's one I have hopes for. I've never had, and he's got that copper going on around the neck. So I'm excited to see him grow out. I'd love to use him in my future batches, assuming it's way too young to be evaluating these for breeding. Thank you, Rooster. Yeah, you can see that one there. She's a lighter blue. And the one in the back, the bigger one, she's a darker blue. Those are both considered blue. So that's something I'm going to have to work on. And then a bunch of these little boys will be graduating to fraternity boys flock. There's one of the girls. And they originally came from Deer Run Farm. I kind of mixed them in with the black copper Marans. So this, they're a little bit mixed up, but they do lay beautiful, darker brown eggs, darker than you'll normally see. And you can even see there are different levels of copper in their on their neck feathers. So that's something else that I'm going to have to work on in the future also. But there you go. That is my blue black splash copper Marans flock. I do want to bring up the eggs again. I should have zoomed in on them. But yeah, you can see some dark speckles in there. And one of those is too small, but those are large, extra large eggs. They lay some big eggs. And they will be a little bit darker in the summer. I can go back and look on this one. And then when I bred them with my white and true blues, you can see the green eggs there in the middle. That's what their kids produced when I bred them with the white and true blues. So they are good to have around. And I'm excited about my blue black splash copper Marans flock for 2023. Hopefully 7 hens. I might get a couple dozen a week that I can hatch and share with the groovy egg loving world. That's all I got for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna put a couple logs on this fire. I'm gonna go take a long hot shower. Then I'm gonna come back to the living room, and it's gonna be probably upper 80s. That's what I'm gonna do. Thank you for the simple things. Take it easy.